Hey everybody, it's Tommy Canale and welcome back to Before the Lights podcast, the show to find out how those in sports, music, and entertainment made their mark. Go get your coffee or grab a drink and get ready. Joining me today is a high-energy entrepreneur that excels in online and social media marketing, the host of the new Hardcore Italian podcast and the owner of Hardcore Italians, which has over 500,000 followers on Facebook and over 300,000 on Instagram. Small following. He's from Woodridge, Illinois. Please welcome to the show, Mike Carioscia. Mike, how are you?
Hey, Tommy. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Before we get started, I want to tell my listeners we're doing a new thing out there. Go to Apple iTunes, review and rate the show. We're going to be looking at all the reviews that come in, and we're going to choose a couple of our listeners to come on the show and do guest spotlights. So if you always want to be on the podcast or you're interested in coming on the show, go leave a review, rate 5 stars. Nice comments are always appreciated. HardcoreItalians.com is an entertainment website that caters to the Italian culture and celebrate the heritage. Mike, I'm going to start here as a fellow Italian. What does the word Italian mean to you?
To me, it just means like the values. You know, that's pretty much what I'm all about, is the generosity, the family, food, everything that just kind of, you know, incorporates the culture. So,
do you have a favorite Italian word?
Yeah, but it's a swear word. So. Not sure if you want me to say it on the podcast, but
go ahead. We've got that little button that says explicit content.
Yeah, the vaffanculo has got to be my favorite, but
all right.
How about you?
Mine's not there. Mine's a chin chin. I always say at the end of every show. So yeah, I like the cheers.
Yeah, I gotcha.
What was your household like as a child?
Just all about family, you know. I pretty much, I don't know, I grew up playing sports. My dad was always a coach. You know, my mom, always took care of the house stuff. My grandma and grandpa always would like come over, take care of me. So like, just pretty much all about family growing up, you know.
And did you have influence then from grandparents or great grandparents, or was it parents or everybody?
As far as, what do you mean influence?
Into getting into the business marketing field that you're in.
So for the business, it actually kind of spun from my dad. He had, he started a company that was based off the sports I was talking about. We had a baseball team, and he kind of started the hardcore phrase through that, because it was kind of just his phrase for our baseball team to play hardcore. And, he kind of started getting into making apparel with that.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? Like uniforms, and then getting into hoodies and hats and things like that. And eventually, just being a proud Italian, came up with the hardcore Italian phrase. And then it just started getting a reaction, and that's kind of how that started, you know?
And then you went to Northern Illinois, got a bachelor's in business administration. Did you guys start this then when you were in high school, or did it start when you were in college, or when did it all start?
Yeah, so I was like 16 or 17. And like I said, just playing baseball, my dad being the coach. And then it just started out real humble. You know, it kind of basically, it started with just one shirt selling on eBay. And then I kind of told my dad, let's focus on the Italian thing. Because he had baseball shirts and all these different kind of sports shirts. And I said, like, why don't you focus on the Italian one? Because it's pretty much what everyone's getting a good response to. So just kind of in high school, I started helping him with the social media for that. And then in college, kind of took it up a notch once it started picking up some pace. And then really, like, when I took it full time is when it started to grow a lot. And that's after I graduated college in like 2017. So
in July of 2015, you did an internship with Struby Celery and Vegetable Company. Did you take anything from that internship that you're using these days?
Yeah, well, that's where my dad works now, actually.
Okay.
So I got an internship with him, and yeah, pretty much his, the like produce markets down there, they have to be up early before anybody, you know what I mean? They're selling to grocery stores and things like that where they need stock. And if their grocery store opens up at 7 a.m, you know what I mean? They have to go down to the market and order. So my dad's up every day at 2 a.m, down there at 3 selling. So yeah, I learned a lot about hard work, because I mean, it's very hard to wake up those hours and like stay awake and just work the whole day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's rough. So that definitely taught me hard work more than anything.
You're not running those hours these days, are you?
No,
That's
yeah, not anymore. Yeah, he still is though. It's still his full-time job down there.
How many years has he been doing that?
Like 20 or 30 years, a long time now.
Wow.
So exactly.
That's a lot of respect right there to get up and run those hours. He's got to be used to it by now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you ever get used to it to be honest, but I mean, yeah, he's you know what I mean, he's got a rhythm down, at least of waking up and going, but yeah, it's tough, you know, no matter how many years you're doing it, it's still not easy on your body.
Yeah. When you took this thing over full time, did you have any fears or were you scared about taking over full time, or you would just pedal the metal? Let's go.
You know, of course I was a little afraid, but I kind of was, you know, ready to hit the gas because after I graduated, I started working another job, and I don't know, I kind of realized like I'm young. I have the opportunity to take risks now. You know, because once you're older, it's kind of hard to start a business. And if you have kids, you can't just leave your job and, you know, take a shot. So that's pretty much how I thought of it. You know, why not? I'm young, take the shot and see what I can make of it. So yeah, we kind of, you know, we pretty much didn't spend any of the money just growing it that whole time until I graduated. Then we had some savings in order to get a warehouse, hire employees and stuff. So that kind of having like some money saved up definitely helped to be able to make that initial investment. So yeah, I mean, of course I was a little afraid though. You hear people say like, are you sure you want to do this and stuff? And, you know, like you kind of have to be confident to go through with it.
When you started out with apparel, obviously, and now it's turned into this social media platform that has, you know, memes and all kinds of stuff. And it's a great platform. When did you transition then from apparel into the social media side?
So it kind of went hand in hand with social media. We kind of got more into content, and we're still working on content now, but the social media was always like the starting point. That's where we started to grow, because we only had one shirt in the beginning. It wasn't really like a full line of shirt. That's kind of what started for us. We actually like the main Hardcore Italian Facebook page grew to 1 million. So that's one that's got 500,000, just one for just memes. So that's why we kind of, that main Facebook page is really what started like the whole social media thing. We kind of jumped on Instagram after that, you know, a little bit of Twitter and other platforms, but those are like the main two, you know. And we just kind of wanted to keep expanding with social media. One of the things about it is it's always changing. There's always something new coming out. There's, you know, you want to be everywhere. Not everyone who's on Facebook is going to be on YouTube or Instagram or Pinterest or, you know, so there's an Italian audience on each one of these platforms, and we aim to like grow a community on each one.
You said you started, you know, selling one shirt on eBay. When did you decide, okay, it's time to go bigger than eBay and expand this?
So it was like a slow start. Basically, when we had that first design, it was a lot of family and family friends who wanted it. And then the word of mouth started growing. And then that's when we put on eBay. And then we noticed eBay too was just starting to keep growing and growing. And eventually people started asking for, you know, can we make a collar braid shirt? Can we make a shirt with this? Can we make a shirt with that? And then we just kind of dabbled in doing different regions of Italy. And then after a while, it was kind of hard to run. We're like, we need an actual site, because if we're doing multiple designs, it's hard to send somebody there and kind of get what's going on. And it took us about 3 years. I think 2014 is when we got out of eBay and started doing a site. Everything kind of just started in the beginning stages. Everything definitely was like a slow start for us, you know.
Was everybody involved in the family? Just your family and friends? And is it still that way, or have you expanded now?
Yeah, well, more family helps me now than before. Before It was just like me and my dad, and you know, it kind of was a lot of my dad when I was in college, shipping the shirts and stuff. And then, you know, once we got a warehouse, we hired like a close family friend of mine runs our warehouse, like does all the operations in there. My mom like started helping with just kind of the office stuff. My aunt's our accountant. My sister helps with some designing. My girlfriend helps like with the blog. So it's pretty much, you know, now my cousin's even helping the warehouse. So pretty much as we keep doing this through the years, more family, we grow, and then we need more help with stuff. And then that's the first people we ask. And you could trust family, which is, you know, and it's fun to be around family. And like I said, it's all about family with us for sure.
It's a good thing Italians have big families.
Yeah, really, it really came in handy because I don't know where I would be without them, to be honest, you know.
You do news, recipes, videos, and an actual store. And you said that on the thing. And on the store, you have, t-shirts, beanies, socks. What else is available on the store that listeners can get their hands on?
Jackets. We're real big with jackets. Like you said, t-shirts, hats, keychains, stickers. You name it. We pretty much have a lot of apparel, pants, bracelets, stuff like that. So yeah, there's a wide selection of products now for sure.
How many total items do you have? And you're over 20, 40, 50? What is it?
There's about 100 and 250 different items on the store.
Wow. Before I ask the next question to Mike, I want to make sure to tell my listeners, go to my website, beforethelightspod.com. Go to the bottom of the page and click on the Vegas.com banners to get the best deals in Las Vegas for shows, hotels, and vacation packages. Go to beforethelightspod.com and click on the Vegas.com banners. Who doesn't want to come to Vegas and Sin City? Mike, what would be the worst BOGO of all time?
And to be honest, my genuine answer would be, if you do it the right way, nothing, I mean, I want to lean towards something expensive, but everything's how you market it,
Mm-hmm. True.
So I would just say, get the marketer in place first. And then, I think a bad marketer with a good product is worse for a BOGO than a good marketer with a bad product.
I like that.
Thank you.
For your marketing with social media, one tip can you give listeners to help them expand, say, Instagram?
Just following wise, how to grow a following.
Yes, how to grow their following.
To just keep posting, because you start out, like a lot of people start out with social media and they give it a week and then they get like 2 likes, 3 likes, 10 likes. And I feel like it's not instant gratification. So everyone just kind of tails off. I would say just keep posting, get involved with the community in your niche, and just keep at it. Cause when we started the Facebook page, it really took us 3 years and we were happy to get 5,000 fans. So it was a slow start. Like you have to just do something you genuinely want to post about something, even if you're not getting the attention. That way, eventually when it comes, you'll get through to that point. So I would just say the persistence and consistency of just posting and making content, even though you're not getting results initially, because it takes some time.
How many posts do you guys do a day then on Instagram and Facebook?
Kind of depends. We usually range between like 2 to 5, but some days there's only 1, some days there's 10. It kind of depends what's going on with the day, if there's any news or, just kind of how busy we are. Sometimes during like Black Friday, we get a little busy. It's harder to get posts up, but pretty much we try to shoot for 2 to 5 a day.
So you're at least posting something every day on your sites.
Yeah, exactly. Something every day for sure.
What's the biggest challenge then for you guys to keep growing?
The challenge is kind of finding good people to work with. Like I said, we're posting content every day. So, we need a lot of personalities, a lot of people who are willing to like be good content producers. And it's just like growing a team's important. And I would say it's hard to find the right people to grow, who kind of get it, because whenever you're growing something, like I said, you don't get that instant gratification when you're starting something from ground one. So the people who are creative and want to help us like see something through to the end, that's when it works out. But it's hard to always find that like person to work with,
Have you guys reached out then to people that are outside the family that are helping you with content?
Yeah, for content, we have affiliates we work with, and
okay.
We do a YouTube show. We kind of we have like a couple YouTube shows where we kind of use some people we just know from the brand and working with us that we gave the opportunity to have a show with on our site. And yeah, exactly. We kind of branch out as far as the content goes, but as far as like the operations inside the business, that's pretty much all family and family friends.
How many people are reaching out to you these days to be part of Hardcore Italians?
Quite a bit. There's a lot of people who are making content, who are making Italian content, and everyone who tries to like make content for the community and stuff. We definitely like go back and forth with and try to see if there's potential to work together.
Mm-hmm. When you first started this, is it where you envision now, or did you have a different thought in mind of where this might go?
A little bit of both. I don't think like back when it first started, I pictured myself like doing what we're doing now. But, I think just as far as like how much it's gotten order wise and hiring people and growing. But, I kind of see a lot of growth still in the picture too at the same time now. So a little bit of both,
As far as the store goes, what's a typical day like for you then?
Just as far as like how it looks in the warehouse or what's going on, or
yeah, like what's a typical day for you, like, running the whole thing from behind the scenes that people may not understand all the stuff you're putting into it?
yeah. So basically, we have we have a warehouse and there's a team there who, I pretty much have my main employee, Santo, who handles all like the orders, the customer service, making sure all that like is smooth with operations, when things come in, packaging it, quality control. But yeah, basically that's like kind of the front end at the warehouse. And then the back end is like, kind of me, my girlfriend, and other people who work for me who are helping with the content, just kind of doing the word of mouth online, growing like the community there, and offering the discounts and showing off the store. And then pretty much we use Shopify, so
Okay.
they go to our site, the Shopify order comes in, and then our guy like prints the orders, packages it, ships it out. So someone's working every day on the thing. A lot of times, like when you order, we're shipping it next day minimum.
How much time are you putting into looking at either new logos, new designs, new apparel, a new item to put in the store?
New items we're trying to do like as frequently as possible. We were kind of doing every 3 months to do new items, but this year our goal is to do like every month, do something new. So yeah, we want to put out, I think we want to keep like our returning customers happy, and always give them something new. While also still keeping our main products there for people who are still learning about us. So we're doing that. We're kind of expanding. We have like food pages and travel pages. I'm working on a new logo for that as we speak now for that. So, there's always something new going on for sure with, logos or products or, R&D in general. So I would say constantly looking at new things.
Going back to being in, say, grade school or junior high,
Mm-hmm.
what did you want to do with your career? Did you have an idea?
I had no idea, to be honest. I didn't really know. Kind of, even when it came down to college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I pretty much just said, let me try business because, it's kind of, we're doing a little business now. And I feel like it's general enough to just kind of dip in different areas and see what I like. And then, it kind of just fell on me, to be honest, learning that I really have a passion for business. And, I did a minor in marketing, and that's kind of where those are like my two biggest things I use on a day-to-day now is, the administration and marketing. So that's what I got my major and minor in.
How has hardcore Italians then changed your life and your outlook on what's going forward for you?
I really changed my life in the fact of like, I just feel like I want to constantly learn now. I just, when you run a business, like you can learn about so many different aspects of it, the marketing, the R&D, the customer service, the operations, everything. So I feel like the biggest benefit I got out of that is just to try to learn it all and try to be good in, every area. You don't want to have a weak point in everything. So just a lot of reading, a lot of learning, a lot of looking up things online. And, I feel like that attitude I have towards my business, like you could apply it to anything. And you know what I mean? It's just works when you could just constantly learn in life. That's, a huge thing. Just you could take away outside of the business world too. So
agree with you 100% there. That is for sure right there.
Thank you.
Tell me about backyard pizza parties.
Yeah, I don't know, just always growing up, it's kind of hard for me to picture right away with this pandemic and all, but we just always, I don't know, we kind of always had family around too in general. So it feels like kind of every day we were getting together. But we had a lot of family that would always do their parties too, that we go to. And a lot of, I feel like the summer was a lot of the parties we would have. And I feel like the thing about with Italians is Italians like never miss a party, like,
especially if there's food.
yeah, exactly. Like I just kind of, when I look back at, parties growing up, you just like your friends you'd have, one would be, oh, sorry, I'm busy this week or whatever. But I remember always my Uncle Nick there, my Uncle Anthony there, like they would never miss a party, graduation, anything, you name it, they're always there. So that's like something that, I value a lot.
So you guys were making just homemade pizzas in the backyard?
Never homemade. We make homemade wine now, but
oh
yeah. So that's kind of what we bring to the table. But we got the cousin who makes homemade pizza it's awesome, and then our guy Santo too makes the sopressata, and we kind of, everyone's got a little something they pitch in now, so it's nice,
What kind of wine you making?
Usually Cabernet.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah,
wine is good with anything.
Yeah, exactly. You can never have too much, so it's definitely it's just fun to make too,
Is it difficult?
A little bit. I mean, you could there's things you could do now to kind of shortcut it and ease the process. But if you want to do it like the old school way, it's a little difficult when you got to just kind of like press all the grapes down, and it can be. But the thing is too, like when you do it with 5 to 10 people, something, so you could take a break and whatever, you're eating lunch and chilling and having fun. So it's a little bit of hard work, but it's worth it anyways.
For sure. I'm a big red blend wine guy. So anytime people bring up red wine, I'm listening. Tell me,
that's awesome.
Tell me about the idea to start the Hardcore Italians podcast.
Just another kind of, like I said before, with social media, you want to be on everything. And I realized one of the things we're still not there with yet is audio. So we're still only a few episodes in, we're trying to work on more coming up this year, but it's about just kind of being on another platform, getting to our audience and just bringing something of value there, as well as to Instagram and, Facebook and all that. But the thing I like about audio too, is it's way more personable than, just kind of the Instagrams and memes and things like that. Like you can actually hear who we are, what we're about, and stuff like that. So that's, one of the huge things about the podcast that I'm trying to accomplish is just be a little bit more relatable to, our people who are customers and fans of our pages.
How often are you putting that out?
So we've been doing like every 3 weeks, at the end of the year, but you know how it goes kind of with like holidays, Italian holidays, like they're crazy. We're just kind of busy with Christmas and New Year, and kind of when those started coming up, we put on hold for a bit, but now we're working on getting them. We'd like to do every week, but I feel like it might be every couple weeks. We'll kind of see. We got to get in a rhythm still with it. It's still very new to us. So
yeah, once you get in a rhythm, it just kind of flows. It's just getting into that rhythm.
Really, yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Because one thing I learned too is all the audio and equipment and video. It's not easy to you can't just pick it up and your stuff next day. So
correct. And how many are on that podcast?
Right now, there's 4, including me.
Do you have a person or an organization that you admire, that you kind of look up to as a mentor?
Yeah, there's a couple for sure. I would say Barstool Sports has always been like the one I look up to, just because I don't know, they kind of cultivated that following online, and I feel like they kind of set the standard for how to grow like a page, how to post, how to do they pretty much set the standard for an entertainment website. So that's what we want to be, is an entertainment website. So we kind of look to them for a lot of inspiration, but there's others too. I look kind of, that's more on the entertainment side, but there's other sites too we look towards for, the clothes. We notice like there's a site, Baseballism, that always puts out quality products, and we try to kind of keep a standard that they keep. And, we kind of take bits and pieces of ideas from everybody. So
do you have somebody then that you can lean on if you need advice, or are you just swinging it or asking mom or dad?
I kind of I feel like when I need advice, I mainly just look stuff up. Like I just research. There's a couple of entrepreneurs I follow that kind of gave me the advice. I feel like they're kind of what they practice and preach, it's like in me now. It honestly depends. I use my dad for different types of advice. I use my mom for different advice. It's kind of funny. Like we have a group chat. If there's ever a new shirt we want to come out with, I always like ask my girlfriend, my mom, my sister for like just kind of what's trendy right now for clothing. My uncle helps me with advice. I got a couple of uncles that help me with advice actually. So it kind of all depends. I kind of, depending on what I need help with, I'll use different people. So
I can only imagine the answer to this next question, but how does it go when you're trying to narrow something down with a couple designs or a couple ideas, and you got you and girlfriend and uncles and dads, and I'm sure it doesn't go real smooth, and
no.
I'm sure it's a friendly, high pitched conversation.
Oh yeah, exactly. We especially we kind of tell each other, like, whenever we use a little bit of both of our ideas and we hit in the middle, that's when our best designs happen. But yeah, there's definitely been times where we argue about like, this isn't in style anymore, and this is like, you got to do this. But whatever what I mean? Because it's younger generation, older generation. If I tell my uncle and my dad something with the design, then my sister and girlfriend have a different opinion, and then it's like, how do you get something done? So it's kind of lately we just make a big. What I like to do is just try to think of tons of designs up front, and then that way, like, there's more of a unanimous agreement towards like, wow, that one's a winner and that one's a winner. And that's pretty much also too, that's kind of one of the reasons why I want to do designs more frequently. Because like we have so many ideas constantly. There's like a sheet where we have 200, 300 shirt ideas, and, that's why, like, if we're ever arguing about something, it's nice to say, all right, well, we'll do ours this month and yours could be next month. So it's a good problem to have when you got too many ideas.
Yeah.
So
does somebody, rib you a little bit if, they told you this was a good design, you're like, nah, I don't like that one, and then it turns out to be a pretty good seller?
I don't know. It's kind of happened on both sides now. So I feel like I think like we kind of all just know now that anything you put out it's taking a shot. You're never really too sure how it's going to be until it's really out there. Like you could post stuff and get a feel for things beforehand, but until the product's like out on the shelf, you really don't know the response. So, we've all had designs where we thought were going to be winners and designs that we just thought were okay. And the okay ones do really well. The winners, we have a design too. We let everybody pitch in, so everyone's had something that didn't do well. Everyone's had something that did phenomenal. So it's really hard to, if you kind of bust someone's balls over someone that like a design that didn't do that well, they could just be like, oh, well, this one's doing great. So, and it's never a big deal. Like when we start, we do minimum orders, that like every new design we might start stock, I don't know, 50 pieces of that one item. And it's usually out pretty quick. Like one email will take care of it. And we kind of know like, all right, did that product sell? Did it take, a month to sell out, or did it take a day to sell out? Never really sitting for 2 years.
That's good.
Where it's in the way every day. So that's another positive part about it is, we kind of keep it to where we're okay if it doesn't work out.
Outside of new designs, what kind of future plans then do you have for Hardcore Italians as a whole? Is it expanding content? Is it getting into more video, audio? What are you looking at doing?
Yeah, expanding the content for sure. I think we like to do a little bit more shows and podcasts, and that's one thing for sure we're trying to grow is just the entertainment online. And it's we're kind of at the ground floor with it, just learning podcasting, learning doing video. So that's one thing for sure we're expanding to is doing that. And we want to do it with different, what do you call it? We want to do it with different pages too. Like we have a food page. We're trying to do maybe a podcast about that eventually. And, we kind of just want to be more of an entertainment website. Cause right now we're in hyperdrive with the store. That's pretty much our main focus. So, the entertainment side's been a bonus, but we really would like to be, take that up a notch too and have it really be something. So
do you want to be known more than for the store than more than for, the content and stuff?
I think we kind of want to be known for the content, but right now the store is just, I don't know, we probably are even known more for the content, but I feel like more legitimately like actual shows, because right now it's memes and things like that. Like we want to show people that we can bring them something more than memes, more than, just more, we want to be more like value entertainment than just entertainment, because I don't know, there's not too many Italian American like specific shows or specific podcasts. We just want to bring, the store is, how we do our day to day, but at the end of the day, we want to entertain the Italian American audience on a day to day basis. And we want more available to them,
It's definitely entertaining. It cracks me up, and I got my whole family, following it too. We just talked about this last weekend. We got together and made cannolis, and we were talking about, some of the posts and content that was on there. So
that's awesome. Have you guys been on in a while, or how long have you been following?
I'm not sure the rest of the family. I've been on it probably the last 5-6 months, I would say. And I'm not sure how long they've been on, but I've been telling them as I'm going, you guys got to follow the site. I went back and watched a bunch. It's home so much.
That's funny. So do you find us on like Instagram then, or?
Yeah, Instagram. And then now I'm following you on Facebook as well, just to get all the content, and even checked out the store. And so it can become quite addicting real fast. So you've done a great job.
Thank you. Appreciate that. It means a lot.
Hey, Mike, is for somebody listening that's, say just coming out of college and going, hey, this guy's inspiring me. I want to follow in his footsteps. I want to become an entrepreneur. What
advice
can you give to them? Somebody that's going, hey, I'm going to go pedal to the metal on what my idea is.
I think you just have to have honest expectations of what it takes. Like, I feel like so many people want to do things on their own, but it takes a long time. Like, don't expect things overnight. Just really put in the work and take time to grow something. And, again, the consistency, the persistence, with everything, just, and pick something too that you care about. Like, it's gotta be something that keeps you willing to move forward on a day to day, because it's not easy. If you're really not passionate about something, it's hard to go on tomorrow morning and give it a post,
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing I'd recommend too. And, another thing is have a written up business plan. Like, don't, you gotta have a written down plan, I would say, because if you're just kind of posting every day and expecting to make, all this money just by, I don't know, kind of winging it, it's not going to happen. You have to have a system. You have to have something to go off of. You have to have goals you want to hit. And, every person's situation is different. I would tell people probably things unique to them, but in general, that's kind of what I would recommend is the, plan it out and just like execute it on a day to day for as long as you can.
You had talked about, don't get, high expectations, start out and make all this money.
Mm-hmm.
So tell my listeners, how long has Hardcore Italians then been in business, and how long did it take you to make some ground?
So it's been like over 9 years. I want to say like 9 years and 3 months started. And, the thing I realized, like, the power of social media is if you want to have a business today, like, I feel like before social media, if you want to open up a business, you have to find investors. You have to put down $400,000 and open up a building, whatever. Like, I feel like people are taking it for granted that you could put in time to grow something where you don't have to put down money. So pretty much like I think we started the Facebook page and it took about 3 years to get like 5,000. Like I said, like it took a long time. And then after a while it picked up, and then it just kind of, once it picks up, it picks up easier because you have a fan base of people who know you now. And
Mm-hmm.
even if it's 20 people who've been seeing you the past year, I mean, you have a base now. And when you post something that everybody loves, like it just, they start sharing it. And it kind of, you have to have that small foundation before it grows. Like it definitely took a few years to even get a little traction, like at all for us. Nowadays, like with TikTok and things like that, I feel like you can definitely grow faster than how I did. But really it took, I don't know, it took like, after we got that 5,000, maybe took another 3-4 years to just get it to 500,000 and 1 million plus and stuff like that. Like we kind of hit a spurt where we're getting 50,000 followers, a week for a while. So you know what I mean? If I would have said after, 2-3 years, oh wow, 5,000, like this is a waste of my time, whatever, like we would have never had that breaking point to, you know what I mean? To grow. So it takes time. And I think, like I said, appreciate that you don't have to put money down. Like you could put your time into something, and it's, over time you will, if you really are passionate about something, you put 50 years into it, even if it's not making you $20 million a year, you can, even if it's making you $500 a month, I mean, that's a car payment. Like it was worth your time.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I just think the more you can like plan out that you want to put your time into it, the better.
Agree. Where all can listeners connect with Hardcore Italians? Where all can they find it?
So we're at Hardcore Italians on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's at Hardcore Italians, so with no S because it was too long. But same with YouTube. Pretty much you could just go on any social media platform, Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram, and type in Hardcore Italians, and we pop right up. So, and also we have the blog and website, hardcoreitalians.com, and then our blog is hardcoreitalians.blog.
So we'll put a few of these links in the show notes so listeners can click on those and you can go directly to one. I'll put you a direct link right to the store so you guys can check out all the apparel and that stuff. And then we'll get a couple of these bigger social media platforms to put them on there as well. Last question, Mike, before I let you go is what's in the immediate future for you then?
Just kind of keep pace. We're just trying to plan 2021 now. And I don't know, just kind of get our goals in order again, have some meetings, have some plans, and just pretty much reconnect and kind of analyze last year and move forward for next year. So that's pretty much our thing right now.
Well, good luck. And I hope the next time I talk to you, your followers have doubled, which would be really cool.
Yeah, that would. I hope so too.
Thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Make sure you rate and review the show. 5 stars, nice comments are always appreciated. You can find that on anywhere podcasts can be found. For show notes, go to our website, beforethelightspod.com, and follow us on Instagram at Before the Lights Podcast. Thank you for listening to Before the Lights. I'm Tommy Canale. And until next time, everybody, a salute, a chin chin.